So I'll start by saying that if it is justified to respond to such threats, those threats should be responded to in kind, a sort of tit for tat, right?
That is false. If you
No.
respond to threats in kind, you're not squashing the nation. You must squish the bud when it's growing. You must show them, you must pay them for every threat they give. You must respond in 500 times the force. Because that's how nations rule, with domination, not with diplomacy. When the nation you're dealing with is strong, autocratic. If they will look at you like cowards if you try to do diplomacy, some nations need to be shown their place. If we have to stump them, then we have to stomp on them. That is the price we have to pay. Because the price of not squishing the bud is it grows and it overtakes you.
Who don't feel the need to justify themselves and who would make war arbitrarily, I do think that wars might be justified in such a case. However, I don't think that's a general response. I don't think that uh, we should give in, as it were, to the uh, to the power that's threatening us, unless they have a particular demand, or rather, or a demand that it's very clear that we are not willing to cede. Right? There needs to be a back and forth. We can't just um, take a particular threat, a particular vague threat, as a declaration of war. But I guess the other question is: imagine that the barbarians become habituated to doing this. If they see that Rome invests all of these resources in trying to subdue the barbarians, then they're going to do this over and over again. And it's going to exhaust our armies. It's going to kill our morale. It's going to exhaust our treasury. Like, it seems like in a repeated game, this becomes very exhausting. I think we would much prefer a world in which there's more of a give and take, right? It seems like cooperation can be mutually beneficial to two parties.
A world of cooperation is possible, but not probable. Because people have different interests. They're always going to have different interests. But to be the power whose interests are always kept in mind, we have to show the force. We have to do the carrot and the stick approach. If they threaten us, to bring them with a life with more meaning. And when their meaning is threatened by threats from outside sources, we destroy the threats. We do not accept, we do not laugh, we destroy threats. This is our way of living. And all Roman soldiers, man, woman, child, is here to defend their way of living. Their cycle is longer, but the cycle continues.
Well, I mean, my understanding is that they were one of the oldest nations in Rethia, if not the oldest, um, and they persisted in Sparwood throughout the entire duration of Rathnir's history, without changing their form of government. As we think, those who would threaten us irrationally are irrational, basically, then they are going to persist in their defiance, whatever we do. And so it seems like. Wait, hold on. Where did everyone?
resources, manpower on threats, minute threats that don't matter.
So I guess the at least it's people. And so it seems to me that the if ruling is an art, I mean, I guess
But wait a second.
I don't know what art it would be, right? It seems like it would have to.
Wait, do you hear me? That it's not beautiful what is beautiful, but it's beautiful what is life.
That we intuitively grasp, and it shouldn't be amenable to that kind of scientific precision, right? And so, if that's the case, then it seems like ruling isn't. It seems like political science is possible.
Political science is possible. It's like public speaking. You can read about it in books, and then do it in real life, and it's gonna be knowledge.
But it seems like we could always ask our audiences what it is about the debate that they like. You say that art consists of the critical thinking, of thinking outside the box and whatnot, and that seems a far cry from your earlier position that it was subjective as to what counted as art.
It is subjective. The more person is, the more creative they are, the more they are open to suggestions, the more they are open to conversations. So, more they are open to change. So that is my final line that I would like to say. Yeah, so I guess we conclude the debate today. Hopefully everybody learned something here, something positive. Anything you guys want to say?
Thank you for this interesting debate.
No problem.
Thanks for debating.
Yes,
And
very curious.
okay, so pretty much the event is we're gonna come get it to a close. We had those 3 topics that you guys debated on. I think you guys both did a great job, and thank you all for coming to the market event. So, nation leaders and advisors of the League of Vesfelis, we're gonna have a meeting here in about 50 minutes on whether or not to let Reg know.